It's Bourbon Night. Hello, I'm Chad.
I'm Sarah.
Sarah, we have two familiar yet new bottles here on the table. What do we have?
We have 3 Chord finished bourbon and rye.
Yes, now let's get more into their official
Right.
names here. We're going to start with the bourbon. So what do we have?
Sure, this is the Strange collaboration. It is a Pinot Noir finished bourbon, and then we have,
This one.
that's this one. And then we have the 3 Chord finished rye, which is finished in Amburana and Cherry Bounce barrels.
Okay. Now, of course, we're going to start with the bourbon first, which is in the Drink More Bourbon
glass.
Okay. Doing this one, so I'll put it first here. This is the Strange collaboration Cask Strength single barrel Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey finished in Pinot Noir barrels.
107.88 proof, is that correct?
For this particular one, it
Yeah.
says staff pick. I saw one online that was like 111, so that leads me to believe that these may be picks.
Bilbo Baggins.
What?
111th birthday.
111th birthday. That's
Yeah.
right. So $59.99 retail
Okay.
on this guy.
For both of them, actually.
For both of them, actually.
I don't get a ton of the Pinot Noir on the nose.
I don't. I was gonna say it's more sort of earthy.
I think it's more bourbon forward.
Yeah.
These are 6 years? 6-year
Okay, so
bourbon?
the bourbon, little conflicting info on the website. It says this blend is a 6-year and 4-year Kentucky bourbon, and then down on the age it says 3.5 and 6-year blend. So
somewhere between 3.5 and 6 years.
Correct.
Finished in the Pinot Noir cask.
now the lion's share, 67% of this is the 6-year Kentucky.
Okay.
Here's another instance where it's listed as 4-year. 33% is listed as the 4-year Kentucky bourbon, and then it's finished for 3 months in the Strange Family Pinot Noir wine barrels.
So it's all Kentucky bourbon, majority 6-year.
Yes.
Got it. I mean, I get a little fruit on the nose, but
Yeah, a
other than
little
that, it's
bit.
just pretty classic,
Yeah,
you know.
some berries.
Around 100
in
proof
there.
nose.
Maybe a little bit of graham cracker even, sort of, on there. But to your health.
There's the Pinot Noir.
There it is. Yeah, that sweet wine.
Juicy berries.
Yeah,
Not so
dark.
sweet, but sweeter in terms of like red wines. Mm-hmm. Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Wine.
Wine.
I would
wine,
pair
wine.
this, like, I would treat this whiskey as like a wine at dinner. Whatever you're gonna pair a Pinot with or a red wine, I think this could substitute. Ooh, this with a, like, some Italian dish with a tomato sauce, something bright.
Ooh, I'm thinking pasta.
That's, yeah, that was the idea.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like
think this
that.
would go nicely with some cheese also,
Oh, I
with
like
the
that.
brightness
Yeah.
and like against the earthiness of some cheese.
I won't say less.
Oh, interesting pairing.
Dang. How are you on Pinot Noir as just the wine itself?
I
Because me,
don't-
it's not for me.
It's a little sweeter and lighter than I like my reds to
And
be.
it's so dark.
More bold and rich and powerful, punchy. You know, a little drier, not sweet. Pinot Noir, it's at the end of like, I won't choose it. If it's what's there, then I might drink it. We'll see.
Now, as a genre, noir movies, yeah.
Oh, he likes some
course.
film noir, but
Film
not
noir.
Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir,
Not for him.
different. On the back end, Sarah, I'm getting a little bit of a nuttiness, sort of in the way that you get sort of like a Dickel nuttiness.
So that's kind of why I think it would pair well with cheese.
I agree.
But that note specifically is what made me say that.
Second sip. Or deuces.
Yeah, it has like buttery, wine
pretty
forward,
buttery, yeah.
berry forward fruitiness to it, but also with that hint of nuttiness, earthiness that I think would make this a really good food pairing.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you said like Dickel notes because I understand where that's coming from with the buttery, nutty, earthy.
Yes.
However, this is all Kentucky.
It is. It's just sort of what my mind goes to. And that's not to scare anyone away.
Yeah, I was going to say, you better clarify that because that might scare some people away.
Yeah, it's not the Dickel tickle that can lead some people away.
I would like to retire that phrase in 2025, but
No, never. It's like in a good ratio type of way.
okay.
Yeah, where you can get it, a hint of it in some blends type of thing. No, I enjoy it. Do you want to hear what the website says?
Sure, let's hear it.
They say dark fruit notes
Yes.
on the nose give way to a palette of cherry, oak, sherry, and chocolate. I can see some dark cacao. accumulating in an intense yet balanced finish.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, that's not, I don't know, it's not anti what we said.
correct.
I think they're fairly in line.
Correct.
Well, I want to move on to the rye.
Yeah, we're gonna switch to the rye, but I feel like we need a little break. So what can we
Sure.
do during the break? Well, I can tell you about our home on the
already know.
internet. It's whiskeyambitions.com. It's where you can get the t-shirt that I'm wearing, the
sweatshirt.
sweatshirt, also available in a hoodie that you're wearing, Sarah. The Glencairns that we are enjoying from. In fact, all of our glassware, our bottle cut candles, and our elemental elixir cocktail syrup, plus much more always coming soon at whiskeyambitions.com.
And you can become a patron at patreon.com/itsbourbonnight and join our community for as little as $1 a month. And that gets you access to our exclusive barrel picks after the episode, content with us, and more.
Look at all these names here, Sarah, of the wonderful people of Patreon that you could have your name down here.
They truly make it
being
happen.
celebrated as well.
They helped us out a lot with our best of the year,
Sure
our
did.
availability and value ranking. So you get to, not only do you get like bonus stuff, but you get to help weigh in on content.
Yeah, you literally tip the scales of the best of the year.
You're sort of like our board, if
Yeah.
you want to say.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know.
What do we call it? Our panel. We
our
call
little
it
our panel.
in
You're
the,
a panel.
in the episode.
Yeah.
All right. Actually, we're going to take a little break. We'll be right back. All right, Sarah, this is the rye. Let's give them the bona fides.
Finished.
3 Chord Cask Strength. Yeah, rye whiskey finished in.
Amburana and Cherry Bounce barrels.
Correct.
Now, I will go ahead and admit, it's at 111 proof. 111 proof. I will go ahead and admit that I am historically not a fan of Cherry Bounce finish, and I'm definitely not a fan of
there it is.
Amburana.
I thought you were going to say
There
Amburana.
have been a few that have been like, oh, I see what everyone's talking about. And those are typically when it's a very much smaller portion of whatever blend is finished in the Amburana, like, and not for any significant amount of time.
Yeah, just like to taste.
Amburana
Salt to taste.
yeah, you don't need a lot of it, in my
No,
opinion.
you do not.
And you don't need it for very long.
So here's the bona fides on this. This is 60% a 6-year Indiana rye finished for 2 months in Amburana barrels.
Okay.
And then 40% of a 6-year Kentucky rye finished in Cherry Bounce barrels. No length of time listed for that. So the majority of this, just 60% is but they're both 6-year, Indiana and the Amburana, and the 40% 6-year Kentucky and the Cherry.
I'll just go ahead and say, without having tasted this before, based on those specs,
I get the Amburana on the nose.
this is not going to be one for me.
Okay.
But that's why it's good to know your own preferences so that you can look at something like that breakdown and be like, yeah, that one's probably not for me.
So-
doesn't mean it's a bad product, doesn't mean no one's gonna like it. A lot of people love Amburana. It's popular for a reason. I'm just not one of them.
That's true. For me, when Amburana is in the right ratio, you get Cinnamon Toast Crunch. When it's outside of the right ratio,
I get
you
furniture polish.
Furniture polish,
Yeah.
exactly. Now, I am definitely getting the Amburana influence on the nose,
I'm
but
getting a little
I don't
bit of-
think you can hide it.
You can't.
You maybe put it in the barrel for a day.
It's giving pledge
It's giving-
furniture cleaner.
No.
It's giving
no.
pledge.
For me, it's giving Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But
Okay.
let's go in for the palate. Cheers. There it is, definitely. Okay, it's walking that line.
Better than what I expected,
Yeah.
and I think the Cherry Bounce is holding the Amburana like in check.
Mm-hmm.
Still too much for me. I'll just go ahead and say it up front. I can respect what it's trying to do, and I see that balance, and I think for those who love Amburana, this would be a nice product for you. I can appreciate it without liking it. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, you can recognize.
I can recognize.
Recognize.
Well, it's just like some people don't like strawberries. You hate berries.
Well, I like the flavor. I don't like the texture
You don't
of
like
the actual berry.
Like Chad likes the flavor of berries, but he will not eat strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. Just meanwhile, that's like my favorite fruit. Is he wrong? Is he bad?
No.
Right.
I'm great.
It's just a personal preference, and for me, Amburana is not it. But I can still be like, oh, I get it.
Sarah, some people don't like pineapple on pizza, whereas we both know pineapple on pizza
Is
is
superior.
in
Honestly,
every way
Pineapple
possible.
on fajitas.
Oh.
It's
Pineapple and rice.
It's the sweet and salty and savory, triangle of goodness that some people appreciate and some people don't.
Exactly.
And that's okay.
But I want to give this one that's fair shake. So
I'll
I'm
give
going to
it
go in
another
for
sip.
a second sip.
The mouthfeel is nice.
It's a good mouthfeel. It's a good proof, 111.
Medium finish. It's the
Mm-hmm.
Amburana is what sticks around.
It is, but you should know. It's 2025, people. You should know whether you like Amburana finish or not. And if you don't go for it.
Right.
Or hold out for that one that just has that perfect balance. But if you love it, this one's gonna be for you. It's enough to where it's there. You know it's there. It's unmistakably Amburana. You will love this, I feel like. I mean, I can tell it's a quality blend. That flavor just isn't exactly our wheelhouse.
Right. I think it's a product that has been blended very well. It's just using a component that's not for me.
Correct.
So
Correct.
I can appreciate the balance without saying, oh, I love this and I want more.
Now here's what I'm gonna do, Sarah.
It's like art.
It's like art.
I can appreciate that, but I don't want to hang it on my wall.
I'm not a art critic, but I know what I like. Here's what I'm gonna do.
Go for it.
Now, put the rye in there.
Now, Chad, we also
Gonna
have...
agitate.
Okay, agitate it. We also have a bunch of, like, barrel picks from different bands.
Oh, my goodness.
Some celeb picks.
So, they are releasing the most quantity of the Backstage series that they've done so far. So 10 bands. There's a couple repeats in there, like Dinosaur Jr. We've had
we had that one before.
And they're back. Yeah, there's a lot of bands, and there's some new ones. Fu Manchu, Underoath, like some great ones.
Yeah, the Allman Brothers band, which seems to be like the outlier, which makes me want to try that one. But I'm also curious to try the Dinosaur Juniors. Atreyu is one of them, and only for Headbangers Ball from my middle school years do I want to try that one.
Also a great movie reference,
Truly.
right? Land Before Time. So
Land Before Time,
or not
Never
Land
Ending
Before Time.
Story.
Sorry. Yes.
Chad,
I know.
Oh,
it was
fumble on the pop culture reference.
Littlefoot was on my mind for some reason.
Littlefoot, Dinosaur Jr.
Dinosaur Jr. That's why. Thank you for making the connection. So I think for our next review of Three Chord, you're gonna pick a band. I'm gonna pick a band. Now after that,
I think we know which one you're gonna pick.
Yeah, we do. After that, we want you guys to weigh in. So in the description of this video, we've listed all 10. So put down in the comments what band collaboration you want to see us review. As I said, we're just gonna pick the two that we want to do, but then we'll take the next, the highest ranks, and we'll do that, and we'll get through all 10 because we've got all 10, folks.
Wow.
We've got all 10. Yeah.
He's excited.
I am excited, actually. All right, this is an uncorking, so we have to do recommend or not. That's how this thing works. Now we've got the strange collaboration bourbon over here, which I have poured into this rye. I will say, Sarah, though, that I do think I appreciate an Amburana finished rye more than I do a bourbon.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think the rye
Now, how's this
upholds
Frankenstein
better.
working?
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely better if you
No,
want to try
thank you.
it. You don't want to try it?
Okay.
Well, what it's done
Fine.
is it's quelled the
It doesn't mean that
Amburana.
you can smell it. Well, that makes sense. You diluted it.
I diluted it. It's 50% less Amburana, and I feel like it's a nice little, that's more our level of Amburana involvement.
That is better.
Yeah.
Better, yeah.
That's really good. All right, so we're gonna deal with the bourbon here.
Yeah, I would say if you like a Pinot Noir finish, it's just, I would check it out.
Yeah, $60, $59.99 retail. I think it works for the proof
I
and
think,
what's going on.
A 6-year, there's a lot of other things playing in that range, so I could understand why you may say, well, I'm going to get a rare breed instead and save a couple bucks. But
Sure.
rare breed's
You
not
say that about so many things.
sourced, it's not blended, it's not Pinot Noir finish. I mean, it is blended, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So you get that with this. I'm going to go, what do you say about this?
Oh, no, I already did.
Okay.
Yeah, thumbs up.
For me, it's a no on the Amburana finish and Cherry Bounce, just because as I admitted before we even tried it, it's not for me.
Okay, I'm gonna give it the sideways because at this point I've tried a lot of Amburana finished whiskeys, meaning bourbon and rye.
That's fair.
And this one is one that hangs above the curve. And I think that's because it's a rye, and I think it's because it also incorporates the Cherry Bounce, and because it's 2 months instead of 6 months.
Yeah.
So this one gets but
I feel that. I see
can
that.
recognize if you are an Amburana fan, yes, it gets recommended,
would
but
like
we're just not. So that's why it gets the sideways.
I will say for me personally, it's a no. If you're an Amburana fan, I do think you will like this, but am I gonna go out and buy a bottle? No.
I mean, I like having it for a little touch of Amburana.
Maybe I'll try it in a cocktail.
Touch of gray.
I do kind of like
touch
it.
Of Amburana.
I found that I kind of like, we discovered this with the True Story.
True Story.
Some Amburana finished ryes that work well in cocktails because it gives it that little zesty whatever. That
It's
you can't
like
taste the Amburana when it's mixed into something, but
diluting it like I did
it
here.
comes about in a different way.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how I'll enjoy this. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, okay. I like it. Well, that'll do it for us, folks. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to us already, you can do so by clicking right up here. There's suggestions of other videos down here. We hope to see you over there in one of those.
I hope so.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Chad.
All right, thank you. Strange collaboration. Three
Chord.
Chord. Until next time, Drink more bourbon and rye.